What's up, world? Welcome back to the Tuned In with Tony podcast. And today we have an excellent guest that I just had to bring on stage because you guys know me. We're building sales funnels, working people with their ads. And I want to make sure everybody that I bring can bring a value to you and your business. So I have Arturo Johnson from Arturo Johnson Consultant that's going to be able to teach you guys about leads, because what do we all need in order to grow our business? We need more leads. So I had to bring an expert that comes from the insurance business and now working with all different types of sectors of businesses and teaching how he's getting them leads so that you can take advantage of that. So I want to welcome my guy, Arturo, to the show. Welcome. Where you coming from?
So we coming from Indianapolis, man.
Yeah, Indianapolis, all the way down here in Atlanta.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I got family here. Like after this, I got a cousin who he competed in a fitness competition last week, and I actually ran into Mr. 2 weeks out yesterday because he won it. He won it, and he took a picture with my cousin, so we chopped it up. But it's his birthday tonight, so we're probably gonna go bowling or something like this after this. So my entire family lives here.
Okay.
And
so this ain't even different. Like
yeah. So yeah, this home cooking in the backyard. But first and foremost, very gracious of you for having us on this podcast. Short notice, being flexible, but also being an opportunist, an entrepreneur, which is like getting somebody to talk to that just falls in my lap. Yeah, I'll talk about business for 100%. A second. And this place is incredible. It's inspiring. So when I leave here, I got some work to do. So you are already inspired me, man.
Man, awesome. And I was looking at your Instagram, right? And it says that you are the king of leads, all right? And let's like categorize what you mean by that, because leads can be so vast.
Yes.
When you think about it, you've got, like you said, insurance agents. Right. I need leads. I need leads for my webinars. I need leads to get people to watch this.
Right.
What is your definition when you say king of leads?
Yes.
Who are you talking to?
So defining a lead is an interested, engaged, informed, warm, qualified person interested in your product or your service.
Okay. So let's talk about that too, because me running my own Facebook ads, you have different types of leads, right? So me being a funnel builder, I have a lead that's like an opt-in.
Okay.
But then I have like a qualified lead that like went through the survey and passed the question correctly, right?
Right.
So do you like segment different leads? And we haven't even talked about necessarily who you're doing the leads for.
Right.
But like, because a lead kind of has a different weight,
right? For sure.
Class.
So Google has the 11-7-4 rule. Are you familiar with that?
I'm not.
So for anybody to purchase something for you, because now you said it earlier that we're in a trust recession, right?
Correct.
Where it's more difficult to get somebody to take them from a stranger to a paying client to trust you, basically. And so Google did a study that it takes 11 hours of people consuming your content over 7 different platforms and 4 different touch points. And so the reason why I say that is because there are different types of leads. There's unaware, there's aware, and then there's like hot leads, right? People that are ready to buy now to 3%. And so at any stage, if you're thinking about a funnel, right, cold to hot, or I use cold to hot or top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. But I come from the side 11s where we use Russell Brunson, cold, warm, and hot. When they're going through the funnel, if they just opt in, they were somebody who did not know who you are, were not aware of the problem that they had. They were just introduced to you, and they just filled out to see what type of information. This sounded interesting enough for them to stop what they're doing, to hop off platform and investigate a little bit further. So that's the cold one. So then obviously somebody warm, which is going to be between the phase of them opting in, getting an email, consuming a piece of your content, looking for you on YouTube, Instagram, or wherever it takes them, going down their own traditional rabbit hole, stopping there, not booking a call, maybe filling out a survey, but not booking an appointment, maybe filling out the booking a call, but not showing up to the appointment, or them doing the call and not buying, right? So in that stage of the warm. And then hot is they're okay, let me take a step back. They filled it out and they didn't show up. Hot would be that they hopped on a call with you and didn't purchase, planned on buying, but haven't and ghosted. And then somebody who has purchased you, and then more importantly, somebody who hasn't bought, but they're an avid fan that refers you to them, which is the best people to have.
Got you. And I can tell we think alike, right? My world, your world. But I want to make sure that we like earn the audience attention, right? Because we kind of, we got straight into the technicality. Can you tell us a little bit about why the audience should listen further in this podcast? Like, what you have done, the types of clients you work with that makes you the king of leads.
Yeah. Well, I think we could do that, but the good steward of your audience would be
Mhm.
for their benefit.
Correct.
So the types of people you're serving is it entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants?
Aspiring entrepreneurs and business coaches.
Right. So the number one problem the universal problem that we all have in our business is that we need more leads. We need more attention. We need more eyeballs, because through that process, that turns cold people into hot buyers.
Correct.
So if anybody's watching this and they're looking to grow their business, they're looking to add more exposure, to get more reach, to make more impact, it's only going to come from more people. We don't have a money problem in business. We have a people problem.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to scale your business, you need to get the attention of people to
Yeah.
stop them, to get them to turn, scroll, and to then take action as an opt-in first.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's important.
Let's break down what an opt-in is too, for just the audience that aren't really like funnel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like with the companies you work with, what's considered an opt-in?
It's just somebody that has so let's go back a little bit further. So an opt-in would happen where you've either used organic or paid.
Yep.
And you would use direct response to speak specifically to a painful problem that somebody has. And in doing that, you would give them a call to action if they want to learn more after you qualify them. Hey, if you're a life insurance agent and you're tired of dialing leads, you're tired of cold calling, spending thousands of dollars and not getting anything in return, well, there's a new model where you could have clients chasing you instead of the other way around. So if you're tired and burnout in the business and you're thinking about quitting, but you want a different solution, click the link below. I got a simple 3-step case study that I just did. It's only 8 minutes. You can watch it to show you step by step how you can flip the model and have clients chasing you instead of the other way around. That you present that to them, right? It's very clear, concise, and compelling. So if you have that desire, then you should probably go this way.
Right.
And that would be behind a opt-in, which is just a simple landing page where they can only do one thing, which is not a website. They only get to do one thing. Here's a headline, an image, subheadline, a button for a call to action, which is click here in exchange for information. I just need your contact, which is an email.
And that sounds like a video sales letter funnel.
Correct.
Yep. So how did you get into working with life insurance? And I got a whole nother question where I'm going to spin that back, but I want to know how you got in there.
So I think 2004, I got licensed for the first time. I was waiting tables at the Hilton downtown Nashville, and my friend Miriam Mizera, she comes in and she's got a business suit on, and I got on my apron, and everybody's just like looking at her like, man, she has. And I was like, I don't know what it is that she has, but I want people to look at me like that.
Yep.
And so she tells me, oh, well, I'm doing this financial thing now. I was like, okay, cool. She's like, well, come over here. I'm doing a meeting in Belmead in Nashville on Monday, and you can meet my district manager. I'm like, cool, that sounds great. I'm waiting tables. I'm probably at this point at the Hilton, we're getting it on a paycheck, so I'm probably making like $800 a week. Yeah. Right. And so I'm like, okay, cool. I can use some extra money. And so she takes me over there in this recruiting meeting, obviously for insurance, and it's for Aflac at the time. Okay. And they're selling life and accident plans. Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, it's a product you can sell. I don't really know that much about sales, but I'm kind of trying to sell steaks and nachos at this time. Eddie George was still in the NFL. Okay. So it was Eddie George's restaurant that I was working at. And so I'm like, okay, cool. And obviously I'm selling insurance. So I got to go to drive to Chattanooga on Christmas Eve and take the tests. And I failed it. Dang. And then in Tennessee, you got to wait 30 days before you take it again. So I had to repay and take it again. Okay. And I actually studied that time. And I passed it. And so now I'm a life insurance agent. Okay. So at that time, it was going to residential areas, kind of like this. And I would just go in, walk in the door, and just talk to the gatekeeper and see if I could speak to the business owner. Yeah. Well,
you're trying to get life insurance for their staff.
Yes, because I could. So the approach I took was I still niched down, which was where are the dormant accounts? Where are the people who already have signed up for this, but either the agent who signed them up got a promotion or they left the business and this account is unattended.
Got you.
And so now they're already a client, so I need to convince them about it. But there's some maintenance work, which is, did you hire any new employees in the last 90 days? Gotcha. Are there any employees that has gone to the doctor and had a health screening? They may be eligible to get money back for this. That's one of the riders on the insurance policy. Okay. So now I got a reason to go in the business that benefits the business owner. And when
It's not so cold when you're
correct,
walking in.
again, because you don't want to try to convince people. You want to try to convey and remind them of why they need something. And again, money only changes hands when the problem is solved. And if you're just interrupting and annoying people in the beginning, because a lot of times that's what you have to do when it's cold, it's interruption marketing, right? In their feed, they're scrolling, they're not looking to buy anything. They're looking for ads.
Right.
And so in that capacity, you want to try to warm people up.
Okay.
So you have to sell them on something that they should listen to that's in their best interest, which is direct response. So backing up. So now I have a reason to go into a business, right?
Got you.
I have a list of people that probably have some money that they can get back. And it was something like $250. It wasn't like a little bit. So I was like, okay, cool. But I realized that was a problem. There was only so many businesses that they had on account. And so then I had to resort to cold calling and door knocking businesses.
Got you.
Well, I'm broke, it's not working, and it costs gas to drive to these things plus time.
Yep.
So I was in and out of the business at that time, and that was not working for me. So I just kept waiting tables, and I had a safety net. So I quit the business probably like 2004 or 2005. I just kept waiting tables that entire time. And then fast forward 2018, my mom got sick, and she was living in Chicago. I had to move her to Nashville. Said to say she's healthy now, but there was just like 1 week where she was just not doing well. She went from like doing great to like doing bad. My wife's like,
that was scary.
why wouldn't you just like, she's missing her community for church. Why don't you take her to this church? So we take her to Mount Zion in Nashville, and it happened to be the pastor's anniversary Sunday. So it's a huge, big thing kind of going on. And that Sunday specifically, a guy that I went to college with at Fisk University, he showed up and he looked like $1 million. And I've got on like one of my work shirts as a plaid shirt. And he is just looking like money, got on a great suit. And again, that same thing happened where it's like, whatever he has, I kind of want that. And he's like, yeah, I'm doing insurance, Northwestern Mutual. So I'm like, okay. He's like, give me his business card too. Now, again, we used to party in college. It was on the basketball team and everything. So he looks like he's doing way better than I am. And I'm tired of waiting tables again. And so I end up going into another recruiting meeting for insurance. And I realized after I got licensed the second time, that's why I quit the first time. There was no repeatable, predictable system for me to have qualified people to talk to. And I realized that I didn't get burnt out because the business was hard. I got burnt out of chasing.
And you're not even an entrepreneur at this point. You're just working, but you're seeing
I thought I was getting entrepreneurship, but I had no idea what I was doing and didn't turn into an entrepreneur until I was 35.
Got you.
And I'm 42 now. And so at this time, I'm probably 27 to 34-ish at this time. And so 2018, get licensed in 9 months to be doing insurance at that time. And I'm like, nobody has figured this out. So that's when I had a problem, right?
Right.
So now I have a problem that I need to solve for myself. I'm like, why can't I use social media? So I started using Facebook and just DMing people because I went to Fisk University. I'm like, I want to work with people that I know are going to make money. Meharry Medical College is right across the street. It's like Emory, Howard, and Meharry. Emory, Howard, and Meharry produce 97% of all the Black doctors in the U.S. So that's my network, right?
Yeah.
So I'm leveraging that to have warm people to talk to. You're a friend of a friend. I went to Fisk. It's easy to do. So I started there, and I became the debt consultant. And so I niched down even more into medical professionals that were that needed student loan doctor, basically what I did.
Yeah. Okay.
So I helped them fill out the form that you need in order to do this stuff. And they referred me up to the doctors that worked at MD Anderson in Houston. So I'm like, okay, I got a system.
Yep.
Well, the challenge with that was so manual in person.
Yep.
And I couldn't keep up with the DMs. So I needed to have a way to automate the process.
Yep.
So I moved to LinkedIn. With LinkedIn, you could use something called Linked Helper at the time, which was a Chrome browser that would allow you to send out templated messages, and you could manage multiple different conversations at one time without ever logging into LinkedIn.
Do they?
No, because the LinkedIn shut down the Chrome browser extension. But fast forward to when I got into entrepreneurship, I started helping life insurance agents with this after I solved it for myself. And my very first client, Stephen Noe, had the software that couldn't get shut down because it was an API key based, which basically integrated into the back end of LinkedIn.
Okay.
And that changed everything for entrepreneurship. And I stopped waiting tables and stopped selling insurance and started helping insurance agents with lead generation. And so that's how I did that.
Got you. Okay. So now the question I want to ask, right, where I say I want to spin this is what other industries you work at besides insurance now that you've expanded this?
Yeah, so 9 to 5 corporate people, which
Okay.
again we were talking to Maddie earlier today because he
Okay.
was at this entrepreneur speaker thing that I was at
Yep.
Marcus, and he was a corporate person first.
Right.
And corporate people are the perfect people to turn to transition into experts because they have all the technical detail knowledge of how a big ecosystem of a business works, and they want to turn their information and their knowledge into a service. So those folks, experts, and then
So you're saying somebody who's probably working right now but has a great idea, but they don't know how to package it and get it out
yeah,
there.
for sure.
Correct.
Right. And they know how much money they're making a corporation. For
Right.
example, one of my neighbors, she does business turnarounds for corporations.
Yep.
Well, on a P&L, she knows exactly what her value is.
Yeah.
And she knows what the discrepancy is of what she gets paid. And I'm like, what if you only got 1% of what you made them?
Right.
Is that a good return of an investment to a CEO of a company? Of course it is.
Yeah.
And so corporate professionals and then experts or specialists, somebody who's already started in entrepreneurship, not necessarily a beginner that like a entrepreneur that's been doing it. In this specific instance, technically a 9 to 5 or in a corporate is an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So they fall in this bucket also. But on in-person fitness, personal trainer, and then I have like a barber. They're already doing stuff in person, but the challenge that they're running into is, man, I can't scale this business this way because I'm fighting the time, money, attrition thing, which is I need to make more money, but I can't continue to scale to cut more heads. There's only so many haircuts I can cut.
Yeah.
And so I'm teaching them how to productize, raise their prices, or optimize their business in that capacity.
When you work with a client like that, do you ever feel like there's like a limit of disposable income to invest in the business? Because a lot of times at that level, they're kind of like capped, right? Versus working directly with business owners.
Yeah, so every problem creates another problem, but there's always a solution to the problem. And so it's like, who has figured this out and got it to work?
Yeah.
And then you reverse engineer that, which is easy to do. If you search just a little bit, you can always find somebody technically on online what you're doing to digitize it that's got it to work, and then you can just reverse engineer it, right? I'd see your website, funnel hack, like you can always reverse engineer it. So for to answer the question, there's always a solution to it. One is you can cash flow your own, self-fund it, which is really easy. The easiest way to do that is if you're selling something for $97, start selling it for $9.97 instantly overnight.
Yep.
Right? Or you
Basically,
can use
increase
leverage.
the price.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's leverage. It's business leverage. You can use OPI, right? You can use
Break down
business
OPI.
credit.
I've always heard OPM.
Other people's OPM, excuse me, OPM, other people's money.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So to buy a house or a business, if this was $1 million, you don't just roll up and grab $1 million out of the bank. You use leverage.
Correct.
That's the income ratio. They see how you see your risk profile. You put down a little bit, you get the thing in exchange. As you paying it down, they still own it until you pay it off, and then they give it to you. That's leverage, right?
Yep.
So in that case, go to the bank.
Yep.
Right? And so you can do it that way also, which is get a business credit card, get a line of credit, Navy Federal. I'm sure you had Marvin and all those people on here that if you need to run up a game, the Haitian sensation, he runs through the bag telling you how to get business funding. Shout out Smitty to go, he does too. So there's a lot of people in the space doing that. So that's an easier problem now today than ever, but you can also go to ChatGPT if you need to, right? For your specific situation. So the funding part is important because that's why I like to work with experts. Corporate people are usually making a pretty substantial amount of income.
Yeah.
Right?
They can show something, possibly have a good credit score, maybe an asset as a home, something so they can get funded, you know what I'm saying, that they can invest into themselves. Yeah.
And then the entrepreneur knows that like it's costing them not having this problem solved in their business, right?
Gotcha.
For example, if you're at $10,000 a month and you want to get to $100,000 a month, it's costing you $90,000 a month not having this problem solved. And if you got to pay $5,000 or $10,000 to make another 90, that's a 9x investment. That's economics that you should probably bet on, right?
Yeah. So we have two different types of avatars that watch this show. We've got the business owner, right? Professional business owner, maybe local services. And then we also have the business coach. And then knowing that you came from the insurance world, but then you also work with personal brand as well. my question is, and this is kind of like I'm asking the technical parts of it.
Yeah.
When an insurance agent buys leads
Yes.
versus a personal person that has to go out and create content
Yeah.
in order to like drum up leads and build trust, how does the insurance agency like skip over that whole part of that trust building?
What do you mean?
Because like us as personal brand owners, we got to go out and put content out. People watch our shorts, our reels, like you said, they got to devour 11 hours of content before making that decision.
Yeah.
But if an insurance agent just buys a spreadsheet of leads and they instantly start dialing them,
Yeah.
what's the big difference of letting this person be able to skip over that trust building phase, but the personal brand has to go out and make the content? You know what I mean?
So in insurance specifically, it's kind of a little bit, you got to separate them, right?
Yep.
So what to answer the first part is you should always be building the brand, period, point blank. In today's economy, you need to be building the brand.
Right.
It's not the best, it's the best known game we're playing right now. And the best known person has deposited more in than they're taking out.
Yeah.
Right. And the best person sometimes is an expert that they are waiting for people to come to them, which takes a little bit longer of a time. So in this economy, you should always be building some type of brand and posting no content, because I'm always going to be talking about leverage, which is one to many. You post something one time from your phone, 10, 100, 1,000. If you get lucky, hundreds of thousands of people can see it. That's leverage, right? And so with the trust part, if you do organically, you have to build that. It takes time. If you're running an insurance agency, you should be doing that because you can leverage that for recruiting.
Right.
If you're trying to get leads, one is you can try to set it up and do it yourself, but there's all the trial and error that you could do it and it not work, and now you wasted time and money. Or you use leverage.
Right.
Find somebody that has gotten someone results that you're looking to get, that has a proven track record, relatability, they're authentic, and they're trying to earn your trust in your business. And then you partner with them.
Yeah, I got you. And then when you're doing the leads for a professional company like an insurance agent, right? Do you have to do the same funnel setup? Do you have to do that? Or do they literally buy leads that you already have?
Yeah, so there's this difference between buying a lead pack, which is you buy names and numbers, which are low quality.
Yeah.
They typically don't work and the information isn't verified and stuff like that. And I'm just I just like to have a more warmer person to talk to instead of convincing people. So I use leverage. Relationships, it's kind of how I got here on this thing. I could have DM'd you and reached out to you. Probably wouldn't have gone, you probably wouldn't have came in on a Saturday if I would have came that way. So I use leverage, right? And it's not a bad thing. It's relationships. It's how we all kind of get what we need to. You know, you need resources in relationship and business. So what I would do is use leverage, and the leverage is going to be from the advertising, right? It's impressions.
Yeah.
So
exactly. You talk about Facebook,
yeah,
Instagram.
the algorithm is showing you things anytime something comes through your feed. That's an impression. Every different account that comes through is one impression.
Yeah.
And so if there's 3 billion people on this one app, and you're trying to get more eyeballs on your business, and almost half the human race is on this one app, you should probably have some presence on here if you want to grow your business. I mean, that call me crazy, but I think that just makes sense, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And you had said earlier that money is exchanged where
problems
problem is
solved.
present, right? Where a problem needs to be solved.
Yes.
I saw a piece of content from you when you were talking about traditional business, the insurance. They buy a pack of leads, and you're like, the worse of the leads, the more that they buy, right?
Yeah.
Because they bought the leads, they're having their dollars dial, and nothing's happening, they're quitting.
Right.
So what have you done to solve that problem, that it seems like this business model that they're just used to just always buying their own pack of leads versus your new method?
Yeah.
What's the new way that you kind of are solving that for those types of businesses?
So in business, it's like, in the insurance industry, you're in a business for yourself, but not by yourself. So you're a business inside of a business.
Okay.
So some insurance, I'll just say IMOs, which stands for Insurance Marketing Organization, which means that they're appointed by carriers to market, right, to sell their products.
Or this different?
Yes, those are brokers, because that's why I work with independent brokers.
Got you.
So they're an insurance marketing organization. So you're an independent insurance agent inside of an independent marketing organization, IMO, right? So if the business model for this company, because they're not technically an insurance company, they're an insurance marketing organization, which they market, so like a third-party vendor, basically, right?
Correct.
So if that's the case, they're leveraging and marketing for carriers, which is insurance companies, and you should probably be doing some of that yourself.
Right.
Well, the reason why I say that is because insurance marketing organizations can also sell leads.
Yep.
Pros to that is they're cheap, effective, and they're easy to get access to.
Mm-hmm.
The cons are they're recycled leads. They've already been worked.
Yeah.
They're at cost. You can't see what marketing has brought that lead in, and there's no connection or reference to what the consumer saw to where you got the lead. So you have no idea where the lead came from and what you're paying for.
And that's what I always wonder, because I was like, okay, if you sell me a list, how many other people did you sell that list to?
Right. And there's no, they tried to do that early this year around that, but it just kind of crushed the insurance business for a little bit.
Yeah.
So they had to pull the reins back on the bureaucracy in regards to that.
Got you.
So that's one side. And then it's, again, that's a problem, right? If you're spending $100 on 100 leads and 99 of them don't work, you kind of feel like you got scammed a little bit, right? Somebody told me these are going to be exclusive and these were the most up to date and blah, 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 and that doesn't work. And so that model's broken. So it's like, well, who benefits from that?
Yeah.
The IMO does.
Yeah.
It doesn't benefit the insurance agent. And why? Because 92% of insurance agents fail in that business because the attrition keeps that business model profitable for the insurance companies.
Right.
Think about it. If I'm a brand new insurance agent, the first thing I need to do is I don't have money for leads. I make a list of 200 people, and that's my power 200 that I call, that are names and numbers of the closest people in my, that's my warm market, so I don't have cold leads.
Yeah.
If 92% of agents fail in the first year, that list goes into the CRM so I can dial through them. Guess what happens? When they leave, that list stays inside the CRM of the insurance agent. Well, somebody's got to work those. If you made a couple sales, they split those commissions in year one, but in year two, they get to keep them because those people are still paying their premiums. That's 150% profit in year two.
Yeah.
Well, they've got deep pockets. That's a good business model for the insurance company. So now that you know this, what's the problem that you need to solve for yourself? Is you need to find a third-party solution that is personalized to you. You have some control, and you have autonomy to the creative to make sure that these people are qualified to work with you.
Right.
Meaning, you need a funnel.
That's branded. Right.
Right. It's personalized. That says, hey, if you're 65 plus and you don't think you can qualify something, you got COPD, you got this and that, there are programs out there that qualify for you. And I know you've heard it before, and you've probably spoken to somebody that they try to give you some outrageous premiums or something that's $300, $400, $500 a month. But what if I told you there was a way for you to get coverage, at least to cover in the event that something would happen to you, your final burial and such expenses? If that sounds like you, you're over the age of 35 and you know that you want to leave your family a check instead of a bill, click the link below.
Yep.
I mean, that's pretty clear and concise. That's off the dome, but I mean, like, and that's why I'm the king of leads, because that's what I do for my clients to get them qualified leads.
Have you ever dealt with, when you're working directly, and maybe IMO is different, when you're working with like let's say State Farm, because I ran into the issue where they're like, oh, we can't have these funnels with State Farm on it and stuff like that. You ran into that before?
So that's kind of how I got into entrepreneurship. Fully, I jumped in. I'm running this stuff for myself.
Yep.
And Alan comes and he knocks on my office. And it's like, hey, can I come talk to you? And I'm like, yeah, you come to give me a pat on the back, because I just had like 26 appointments and I made like 8 sales that month.
Yeah.
And he goes, hey man, are you using social media to market?
Yeah.
Right. And he's like, well, you can't do that. And I'm like, but last month I wasn't doing this and I wasn't making any money.
Yeah.
But now that it's working, you're telling me I can't do it? He's like, yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And so that was in a captive agency. So that's when I realized I had 2 problems. One, I was in a captive agency, and 2, the thing that was working for me, I couldn't use it anymore.
Yeah.
So now I was going to have to go back to being broke based off what he told me.
Right.
So now I got a decision to make. Stay here and do it the old way that I know doesn't work, or I got to trust and believe in my ability to figure it out and go and launch this business. And I'm looking around and you guys are going to be my first customers.
Gotcha.
And so that's how I got to that situation. So yes, you will run into that, which is, that's when I discovered independent agencies where people were buying leads as a business model. I was like, oh, these are the people that I can help.
Yep, exactly. And then now that you've been able to help those people that are buying the leads, do you give them like fresh leads that are coming through like daily, or are they still buying like a pre-vetted list? Like,
Yeah,
Because it's kind of like you're mixing like two different worlds. And that's why I'm intrigued that you got the world of list buying, lead buying, you know what I'm saying? And then you got the world of like, hey, can I hire you to be my Facebook ads person?
Yeah,
It's almost like they're so similar, but
Right.
they're different.
Right.
What is the difference?
So the first part though is like, you will run into situations where that's the challenge, but what I always like to get people to understand is that you're generating leads for a purpose to acquire a customer.
Correct.
And so you need to use a funnel because it warms people up and gets them closer to that 11-7-4 rule, which is you basically taking them through a process, right? And so like when you go to the doctor, right? You make your appointment, you call to do it, but when you get there, you don't just go back to the doctor. You go to the front, you check in, they give you a clipboard, they tell you to fill out some stuff you already filled out online, like, bro, I already filled this out.
Yeah.
And you sit down and you wait. You get there early, your appointment's at 8:35, at 8:45, 8:55, you're still sitting there waiting on the doctor. They take you back, a nurse comes out, they take your vitals, and then you go sit in the room, she asks you questions, it's 9:30.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The doctor still hasn't come in. You sit there for another 10 minutes. You can hear him out there talking in the hallway, and finally he comes in.
Yep.
So tell me what's going on. Bro, it's in the chart. I just told you. I just filled out all this stuff. But he's the expert. So if you got something going on, you're still doing whatever you need to do to get the result.
Right.
Because you got a problem, which is why you're there. So if you take people through a process, you're solving a problem that's a bleeding neck, which is like it's a 10 out of 10 problem, which is you need leads to grow your business. And what you're doing, you're throwing money out the window. Once they go through all of that, they're pretty interested, right?
Yeah.
If they have these things, they go through your funnel, it's a process, they go through it. So that makes it really easy. But you need to use a mechanism of Facebook ads in order to generate that type of volume.
Yeah. Do you work with only online entrepreneurs, or do you also work local?
Yeah, so the two people that I spoke about, the personal trainer and the barber, those are local. One guy cuts my hair, and then one guy's in-person personal trainer in Nashville.
Okay.
And he's trying to get his business online.
Yeah. And that's the question that I had, like, because leads are very different for online business versus like the barber, right?
Right.
So is the barber getting leads, or is he just getting traffic to like walk in?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same principles though, right? Is you need leads, you need a conversion mechanism, and you probably need some type of conversation to get them to book.
Well, let me ask you this. So from the way my mind is spinning right now, if I'm working with the client on their webinar, if I was working with you, the success metric becomes how much does the lead cost? Are they showing up? You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when you switch that to local, and it's not necessarily like, you know, the KPIs and the metrics is different, because it's like I'm walking into a place. How do they measure your success, you know?
Yeah, so you just have to work your way backwards. So even with any metrics, you need what you call statistical significance, which is you need enough data for it to make sense. You need a pattern. So you need at least 1,000 points of data in order to do something. So you have to just go through the process. So for somebody specific like a barber, right? So if he's looking to generate leads online, it's really simple.
Yeah.
We all need a haircut. I just got a haircut 2 days ago, but my hair's already growing back. I need to shave and edge up. And so you post before and after content on social media, right? And you just say, hey, if you're in the local area looking for a cut, you know what I'm saying? I just opened up a shop here. If you're looking for the best experience and not just a haircut, you're looking for an experience, look at my transformation, the before and after, yes. And then you optimize your bio, and then, you know, if this barber is really good, they're gonna see the body work and edge up, and it speaks for itself. So a haircut and a barber is really easy. I don't know why most barbers don't do this. It's super easy.
They're just referral based.
Yeah, and the videos, you get a aesthetic pleasing. You don't need a haircut, right? But I'm sure you've seen these videos where you watch it, and the ASMR is really good to watch. You know what I'm saying? And so that means it's easy to get attention for people who need a haircut. The only time somebody doesn't technically need a haircut is the moment that they leave out of the chair. The other time, they're in the market for one.
Yeah, I got you. And then so now if you're working with this realm, right, a problem that they probably have is content. Because another thing you can't do also is just hide behind ads. Because sometimes when you just hide behind ads, there's not enough trust built. Going back to that 1147. All right, I see your ad, but then I click to your page and it's nothing there.
Right.
Why would I get there? Versus, do you kind of like push them to say, hey, while you're in the barbershop, like I need you to start capturing this before and after content, because they're going to click from that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, again, when you're online, you already know what everybody's going to do, right?
Yeah.
If they see something for you, they're automatically going to have the defense mechanism of they're going to think scam. But if the messaging is correct, it plants a seed of doubt. Like, what if their confirmation bias is wrong?
Mm-hmm.
So they do what any reasonable person does. They look you up. They
Yeah.
Google you. And if you leave breadcrumbs that lead them where most people are going to go, LinkedIn, if it's super professional, or now I think Instagram will show up there as well, or ChatGPT, they can optimize for there, like when you're searching for stuff, and you make sure your profile is optimized. Make sure the title of your page is Ray the Barber, which is one of my clients. You got a good profile photo, and then it says who you are and what you do and where you're based.
Yep.
Right? And then you have a link to a form that if somebody wanted to book an appointment with you, they can do that.
Yeah.
And then your content is based off the before. The transformation is what you're selling on a haircut, right?
Yeah.
So before, when they come in,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of the process and then after, that contrast builds up a desire in people because they can see the before and they're somewhere in the middle and they want the after. And so then they do that and people start liking it. Those are all leads. People liking, commenting, that's fire. And then you just start a conversation. You just be a normal person. Hey man, thanks for liking my post. Looks like you in the local Indianapolis area, bro. I just set up a shop in Greenwood, bro. I know it looked like you probably already got a barber, but man, I'm doing some incredible things with it. I'm trying to grow it and I love to cut you up, bro.
Yeah.
And just have a conversation with them. And if you do that enough and they're already engaging with your stuff, they may not answer you right now, but if you message someone on Instagram, the algorithm thinks that you know each other. So whenever you post a new video of you touching the cut, guess what? That's a brand new commercial. The first person that's going to see it is going to be you.
Yep. So somebody who's watching this right now, right, and they may like what they're hearing, what person, like what problem are they having right now where they're like, I need to call Arturo today?
Yes.
Like, is it the beginner? Is it who is it?
Yeah, it's kind of a person that's already made the leap into entrepreneurship where they don't need to be sold on the importance of building their personal brand. They're starting their own business. Instead of building someone else's dreams, they want to start building their own legacy in that capacity. They've already taken the action. They're probably not a 0 to 1. They're probably a 1 to 2. They started, attempted, failed. They didn't get the result they were looking for, or they bumped their head, and now they're trying to figure out, is this the thing that I want to be doing? Right?
Because that's what I was going to ask you, because it's like when you're dealing with that 0 to 1, it's a lot harder because really what they're asking for you is like
handholding
their business.
Yeah, they're handholding. Everything is on the line. They like the stakes is if they pay you, like you need to do everything to kind of rescue them. And the challenge that is too much of a responsibility. We talked about this on Shan's podcast, which is in the beginner, everything is at risk, right, of that thing, and that's placed on you. The entrepreneur, they've already taken some risks, they've gotten some lumps, but they've also learned some things along the way. But then an entrepreneur also is a motivated, driven individual. Because that's a lot of times what you're doing with beginners is you're motivating them to take that next step, until it actually works. They're borrowing your belief until they actually get a result. And then they're like, okay, I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. It's just been a lot just to think about because I'm so used to working with like just the coaches. You know what I'm saying? So it's been enlightening to kind of hear how something similar to what I do is just like in other industries, right?
Yeah, it's all the same though. It's just packaged differently. Like I started with a social media marketing agency doing lead gen, and then I productized it, which is why I have the book productized, which I productized it into a course, and I did that. But the challenge was I'm selling to myself, but I'm a unique individual that I didn't realize at the time, which is that I'm self-motivated. The only thing I need is the information, and I want the fastest path. And I will obsess and work on it day and night until I get the results that I'm getting. But sometimes you're offering it and selling things to people who aren't as motivated as you. And so you have to inspire them and motivate them. Well, that's a heavy lifting if you got 10, 20, even 100 clients to try to do that every single day. Which is why I applaud David Shands, because he does the morning meetup every single morning. It's just crazy.
Yeah, ain't missed a day.
And doesn't miss a day.
Yeah.
That's a lot of responsibility.
It is.
And then the other thing is people show up every single day and didn't do the thing that you told them to do the day before. They just keep showing up to the meeting. So that's why I like working with the more advanced, sophisticated person that's already kind of jumped, because it's the internal belief of their identity has shifted that this has to work. I'm all in on entrepreneurship. And if they're self-motivated and they're all in, then man, we can work together. They got the passion.
Okay, cool. Well, I know we talked about a lot on today's show, right? But for somebody who also is like, hey, I like this Arturo guy, let me build up a little bit more trust. I did see that you wrote a book as well.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that as well?
Yeah, so the book that I wrote was a book that I wish I had, was that I wish I could turn my skill set, my information into a product leveraging AI, which we have now, to turn that into a one-person business that helps me to grow my brand and to actually do things that I'm trying to do.
And give us the name of the book.
So it's called Productize.
Okay, productize.
Yes.
And productize, let's just think about it this way. Because I've always heard the word was like you should productize your business.
Yeah.
Right? Is it talking about like that in a row?
Yeah, you package your knowledge and information into a way that you can disseminate into people when you turn the things that you know that are in your brain and you lay them out in a predictable process to take somebody to get the same result that you get. Everything that we do is an SOP. Whether we do it or we have it written down, there's a certain way that you come in and set this up. Somebody asks you, like, I don't know, I just come in here and you do it by yourself. But if you really sat down and thought about it and mapped it out, and was like, all right, Arturo, I'm going to be gone for the next week, but I got Shands, I got Wall Street, and I got Marvin's coming in here. Here's how you do this. You would then give me a list of things to make sure that I don't forget. That's the standard operating procedure.
Yeah.
Anybody that has some type of expertise, what I'm talking about, or some type of skill set, if they slow down enough, there's a sequence of things that has to go right for the result to happen. That's the process. And you could productize and that information, because again, money changes hands when problems are solved. That's the solution to somebody's problem. If I am, a person that wants to get in shape and I'm out of shape and I see this guy who's staying fit at 45, he figured out something. He's a walking billboard for that. So I need some information from him.
Yeah.
Right?
I got a question for you. It's not a right or wrong.
Yeah.
Do you believe, when you talk about productize, this is what I was thinking about. You talked about people who work these corporate jobs, making the money for the big player, right?
Yeah.
You know, that they can do it. Would you rather work with people that are focused on like passion or profit, or like productizing expertise? Because there's two characters in the same.
Yeah.
Because like the passion or profit is like, I could literally like, you could have a guy that teaches people how to like change his oil and all this type, or whatever it is, right? I saw the dude at ClickPhones conference, retiree, taught other retirees how to create hot dog stands and go sell at Home Depot. But then you got like expertise to productize, which is like, I don't really like care about this, but I know how to do mergers and acquisitions.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a very interesting question. So I give you kind of, this probably be a political answer, right? But I think that for me specifically, I like the expert that wants that. I like the expert because I know without a doubt that they can get somebody the result. Right. So at the core of it, you can sell anything, you can productize anything, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily going to work if you haven't done it and you're trying to sell something that you haven't done yourself. So one expert has gotten the result for themselves or others, that is a repeatable, predictable process that we just need to either figure out, map out, or leverage AI to help us with that.
Yeah.
Right. And then on the passion side, passion is good if you're motivated, self-driven to actually take the steps, because we make it sound easy. But there's a lot of little nuanced work that needs to be done in order for you to go from 0 to 10K and from 10K to 100K. And if somebody's passionate, the only question I have is, how serious are you about making this a reality?
Yeah, that was a good answer. Yeah. So before we get out of here, I want you to tell everybody where, they can tap in with you, they can get the book, and just what is going on next that they can take advantage of.
So again, I'm Arturo Johnson, the king of leads, and the best way to get in contact with me is on Instagram at Arturo Johnson Consulting. I'm there very active every single day, posting a ton, giving a ton of value. And if you're an expert or corporate 9-to-5 or somebody that knows that they want more, they have a skill and they want to share that with more people, the book will be released in a couple of weeks. It's getting published right now. And you can go to Productize, PORDUTIZE.VIP, and get the book.
Man, that's been awesome. And before we go, I got to put you on the spot one more time. The client that your dream client, the one that you're working with, that's on the ledge right now, what is your words of advice to help them move in the direction of how you can help solve their problem?
Man, that's a deep question.
It's a deep question. I always put it on the hook.
So if you're on the ledge of giving up or what? What are they on the ledge of?
they just need a push to like productize what they have. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a customer that's watching this that is an expert at something, but they just don't know how to get from behind just doing it for the big guy, you know what I'm saying, or the big company. So like, what will be your words of advice to get them to just like take that step forward?
Yeah. So the number one thing that I would say is believe in your ability to figure it out. If you're an expert, if you have a skill set, you know you have a burning desire to help somebody, that's a God-given thing that you've been burdened with and ethically responsible with sharing it with other people. And when I used to work in selling insurance, a guy had told me this story. He said, I know this business is hard. I know it's tough. I know you might be scared. I know you might make mistakes. You might fall down. You might even look like a fool and be embarrassed about the ambitious things that you told people you were going to do that you hadn't done yet. But your current situation is not your final destination. And the courage and the passion that you have to do is to believe that along the way, it'll work out. And the reason why is because the path illuminates as you walk it. Every step is like driving in fog. Sometimes you can only see so far ahead of you, but you got to trust that the road, the cliff, is not going to end. And if you keep going in the right direction, the thing that you're looking for, you'll eventually find.
Man,
let's go.
Y'all heard the expert, man. There he
Yes.
Arturo Johnson. Make sure you guys go to the description below, go to the pinned comments, follow him, spam his inbox, ask him for help. Make sure you guys grab his book, and we'll see you on the next episode of Tuned In Tony. Peace.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yes. Can we call